All right, so we're going to start off, you know what, at the top of the mat in a forward fold, just to release, and then we'll officially start the practice. So we're going to fold over the legs, and we can have a little bit of a wider stance, and then just release the trunk down. Take a breath or so. A deeper breath. And then we're just going to swing a little bit. So this is just a nice little way to warm up the legs and the low back before we start moving to sun salutation. So if you want, you can let the hands walk as you sway the trunk. Or you can have hands to elbows as you sway back and forth. Once you start to come to center, just hang there for a breath. And then we're going to start to unroll the spine to rise. Let's take a couple breaths to get there. Arms can be dangling or hands clasped, doesn't matter. Once you find your way up, remember the head rises last. Then you can wiggle the shoulders, step the feet closer together. Maybe bring the feet all the way together. And then let's begin our practice by bringing palms together up overhead and then thumbs in towards the heart center. Close the eyes and let's just take a moment to feel a sense of deep gratitude for all of those who have come before us to help develop this practice and the practice of yoga in general. Nice sound of Om. Om. And now let's begin with Sun Salutation Letter A, Surya Namaskara Ka. So we're going to be counting. So in the inhale, reach the arms up, 1. Exhale, fold, 2. Inhale, halfway up, 3. Exhale, hands down, float back, lower, 4. Inhale, back bend, 5. Exhale, downward facing dog, 6. Here we take 3 to 5 deep breaths. Fingers spread wide, hips lifting up and back, knees bent if needed. Okay, step forward, and 7 is coming up halfway on the inhale. 8, folding. 9, rising. 10, samastitihi. 2 more cycles, just counting now. 1. Exhale, 2. Inhale, 3. Exhale, 4. Holding here if you want to build strength. Inhale, 5. Exhale, 6. Remembering to pull the belly in, pull up on the pelvic floor. Step forward, inhale halfway up, 7. Exhale, 8. Inhale, 9. Exhale, 10. Inhale, 1. Exhale, 2. Inhale, 3. Exhale, 4. Inhale, 5. Exhale, 6. Step forward. Inhale, 7. Exhale, 8. Inhale, 9. Exhale, Samastitihi. Sun Salutation Letter B. What we'll do is on the inhale, we'll come right into Utkatasana. So bend knees, reach arms up. 1. Exhale, fold straight legs. 2. Inhale, halfway up. 3. Exhale, forelimb staff pose. 4. Inhale, back bend. 5. Exhale, down dog. 6. Right foot forward, left foot down. Warrior A. 7. Hands down, forelimb staff pose. 8. Back bend. 9. Downward facing dog. 10. Warrior A, left side, left foot forward. Inhale, rise. 11. Forelimb staff pose. 12. Hands down. Back bend. 13. Downward facing dog. 14. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, halfway. 15. Fold. 16. Exhaling. Inhale, 17. Actually bend the knees and then rise. Exhale, standing straight. Samastitihi. Okay, so let's go two more times. Inhale, 1. Bend the knees. Arms up. Exhale, 2. Fold. Inhale, 3. Halfway up. Exhale, 4. Forelimb staff pose. Inhale, back bend. 5. Exhale, 6. Right foot forward. Inhale, 7. Exhale, 8. Inhale, 9. Exhale, 10. Inhale, 11. Exhale, 12. Inhale, 13. Exhale, 14. Inhale, 15. Exhale, 16. Bend the knees. Inhale, 17. Exhale, 18. Go through one more on your own and I won't count this time. Okay, standing tall. Once you're there, we're ready for our standing sequence. Pada Angushtasana. Hands to hips, feet hips distance apart. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, fold, grasp the big toes with the peace fingers. Inhale, lift the head, look forward. Exhale, bend the elbows, look past the knees, focusless gaze. Line up the heels with the hips. Bending the elbows, every exhalation a little bit more. Nice tug on the toes. Lengthening in the low back. Pada Hastasana, straighten the arms, look forward. Step on the hands, toes to the wrists. Inhale, lift the head again. Exhale, let the head go. So, we didn't officially get into Ujjayi Pranayama because I know you're all well established in it. So just making sure that we're flowing with that breath. Inhale, lift the head. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, rise up to standing. Exhale, Samastitihi. Feet together, palms together. Have your blocks, if you're using them, one on each side of the mat for the next few postures. So they're ready to go. Utita Konasana, step the right foot to the back of the mat, arms to a T. Pivot the right foot forward, left foot can face side of the mat. Reach out with the right arm, take it as far as you can, then lower right hand to right leg. Inhale, lift left arm up. And then from here, start to press the head back and looking up past the left hand. Okay, less intensity, hand towards the inner thigh. More intensity, hand down the leg. Deepest expression, grasping the big toe with the peace fingers. Exhale, look down at the right foot, rise up to standing. Exhale, pivot to the left, reach out with the left arm, lower left hand down. Inhale, right arm up, press the head back, look up past the right hand. Find your deepest expression with the deepest breath. Once the breath is compromised and you've gone too far, gaze down at the left foot, rise up to standing, inhaling. Exhale, hands to hips, pivot to face what for me is the back of the mat. If your foot is to the right, then same for you. Align the toes to face forward. Inhale, lift the left arm up, look up. Exhale, left hand down to the inside of the right foot or to the outside of the right foot or on top of a block. Press into the right hip with the right hand to turn to the right. And then inhale, right arm up if that doesn't compromise your stability or your ability to breathe. If you have a lot of tightness in the chest and the shoulder, it's really okay to keep that hand to the hip, and little by little, the body changes. Pressing the right hip back, one more breath. Exhale, right hand down, rise up to standing. Exhale, hands to hips, pivot to the front, align the toes forward. Right toes can be slightly to the right, but I like them to face forward. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, right hand down. Find stability with that right hand, maybe more distance between the feet. And then we'll press into the left hip with that hand, turn to the left, and then maybe take the left arm up. Maybe start to look up a little bit. Keep the legs straight. If it's hard to do that, then you need a block. Exhale, left hand down, rise up. And then Samastitihi, that was revolving triangle. Let's go into extended side angle. Utita, Parshva Konasana, right foot to the back of the mat, arms to a T. Pivot, right foot forward, lunge into the right knee. Right forearm to right thigh. Inhale, left arm up and over. Create a nice straight line with the left leg, waist, and arm. Maybe right hand to the inside of the right foot. Maybe you can plant the palm all the way down, get really into deep lunge, hand on block or on mat, looking up past the left fingertips. Hand, forearm to thigh is plenty enough. The great thing about this practice is we are not supposed to push further than what we can be inspired by. So if it detracts you from your practice, you don't want to go that far. Inhale, rise. Exhale, pivot to the left, lunge into left knee, forearm to thigh, right arm up and over. Find the expression that works with you at this time in this moment. Inhale, rise, revolving side angle. Pivot to face the back of the mat, palms together to start. Lunge into the right knee, and then see if you can place, I'm holding the right thigh still with the right hand to place the upper arm to the outside of the thigh, maybe the elbow. You might bring palms back together to look past the right elbow. Keep the outer left foot planted. You can pick up the heel though if you need. A little bit more deep of an expression. Left fingertips to the mat, right arm up and over. I find that really challenging, but it's an option. Left side, inhale, rise. Exhale, pivot to face left foot, left leg, lunge in, and then position, twisting. Right arm outside of left thigh. You're really pushing into the leg. Inhale, rise. Exhale, Samastitihi. Prasarita Padottanasana. Step the right foot to the back of the mat, arms to a T. Exhale, hands to hips, wide distance between the feet. Inhale, look up. Exhale, palms down. Inhale, straighten the arms, lift the head. Exhale, fold. Now here, if the knees are bending, having hands on blocks is going to help. Then we can start to maybe walk the hands back a little bit if we're towards the mat, and then crown of the head to the mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, hands to hips. Exhale, fold right back down, but this time keep the crown of the head lifted off of the mat and just let the head pull down the neck. This is letter B. Inhale, rise all the way up, bring the arms to a T. Exhale, hands behind, interlace fingers. Inhale, squeeze the shoulders back, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Again, crown of the head to block or to the mat. Or it could just hang loose. Again, the practice is not meant to discourage us in any way, but really just to encourage us to come back and keep practicing. Let's go right into D. So release the arms down, come up halfway. Exhale, grasp the big toes with the peace fingers. Inhale, lift the head. Exhale, fold once again, crown of the head towards the mat. Deep breaths to release in the back of the legs. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, hands to hips. Rise up to standing. Exhale, Samastitihi. Parshvottanasana, step the right foot to the back of the mat, arms to a T. Exhale, hands behind, maybe clasping opposite elbows with hands, or reverse prayer. And we'll pivot to face the right leg. Let the toes all face forward. Inhale, lift the heart, look up. Exhale, fold halfway. Press the right hip back, left hip forward. Maybe this is enough intensity. If you need more intensity, you don't feel enough pull, then you'll start to lower the heart down towards the right foot. If you feel enough pull, stay there and just keep the back nice and long. If it's hard to balance here, you might just need to separate the feet, not forward and back, but left and right. Inhale, rise, keep the arms as they are. Exhale, pivot to face the front of the mat, set up the feet. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, fold halfway. Left hip back, right hip forward. And then maybe we go a little further without compromising the length in the back. Inhale, rise, open the arms up, roll the wrists around if you were in that reverse prayer, and then exhale, Samastitihi, top of the mat. Okay, it's time to balance. So Utita Hasta Pada Angustasana, we'll start with the feet, hips distance apart, hands to the hips. Find a support if you needed, a chair or a wall. Lift the right knee up, left leg is very active here. Right hand touches right knee for a little support, or you might grasp the big toe with the peace fingers and extend the leg. So if you keep the left leg straight, but a micro bend is sometimes helpful. You need to feel your own body out. Keep the belly engaged by pulling it in and not hardening it up. Take the right leg to the right. Maybe turn the head to the left, locking eyes on something that isn't moving, but you can still keep them unfocused, or if you need to focus them, that works too, whatever helps. Kind of letting our mind be at the same stillness of that still object. Bring the leg back to center. Exhale, knee to nose. Lift the leg up as you send the trunk down, and then bring the trunk back up. Keep the leg lifted, hands to hips. Point the foot, spread the toes. So if you had your leg bent, your leg is now straight. And if that means it has to be low, then that's fine. Exhale, lower the leg. Let's start with the other side. Lift the left knee, touch to the knee, or grasp the big toe. Engaged belly without hardening it. Take the leg to the left. Maybe head turns to the right. Take the leg back to center. Straighten that leg and then lift the leg as you send the head down. You can also lift the bent leg. Forgot to mention that. That's possible too. Then we'll go ahead and bring hands to hips. Keep the leg forward straight. Spread the toes. And exhale, lower the leg. Release. Give a little bit of movement. Okay, let's find our way to the top of the mat. Here we will come into Ardha Baddha Paschimottanasana. So we're going to give you a different version today if needed. Let's bring the right foot to the left thigh, right on top. See if that works for you. If it doesn't work, you're going to come into tree. And you can stay in tree for the duration of this practice, of this posture. If you are here, hold the left foot with the left hand. Take the right hand to the left upper arm. So you can also stay right here. Right? If you can't get the bind, then this is your bind. Then the other option is, if you can, take that right hand to the left foot, find that bind, and then we can fold if you have that bind. Otherwise, you can stand right. Whoa! You can stand right where you are, and we'll just take maybe 3 breaths. So if you've folded, you've got the left palm planted. And then we're going to start to rise back up and release. And we start with the other side. So left foot, either in your tree or in your half lotus. And then you might be holding right foot and then taking left hand behind, holding right upper arm. Or if you can find the foot with the hand and you have the bind, then you can fold. Otherwise, stay in standing and have compassion for the body in whatever stage it is in its level of strength and flexibility, and just be with it, be present with it. 3 breaths. Okay, start to come out and then release. So at the top of the mat, we're going to inhale and find Utkatasana. Knees bend, reach the arms up. Next, exhale, fold. Take a sun salutation. Halfway up, lengthen. Exhale, palms down, float back, lower. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, warrior A. Right foot forward, left heel down. Rise up. Some of the postures we're only holding for 3 breaths. And the reason is because I want to get through as many as we can, although it's recommended 5 breaths. Some breaths are longer than others, though, depending on the person. Straighten the right leg, pivot to the back of the mat, lunge into the left knee. Warrior B, left side, arms to a T. Gazing past left fingertips, left knee stays lunging. Straighten the left leg, pivot to the front of the mat, lunge into the right knee. Here we take a vinyasa. So when you're ready, windmill the palms down, lift the foot, step it back, lower. Back bend, downward facing dog. And then this is where we can find our way to seated. So maybe you jump the feet up. If you're jumping up, crossing the ankles in the air, you want to get more weight towards the hands. Just suspend there for a moment. Otherwise, however you get there, extend the legs forward. Flex the feet, palms down next to the hips, straighten the arms. Draw the chin down. Now as you're here, if it's hard to be here, if you're struggling, you'll bend the knees. That way, the focus is on the long back. This is Dandasana, staff posture. Straight like a stick. Whew. Paschimottanasana, letter A, Western stretch. Now before we go there, actually take your hands to the flesh of the bottom and pull the flesh out on each side. This is going to be helpful for our seated postures. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold, cross the big toes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend the elbows to lower, not the back. Now as you're pulling the feet, you'll notice that the toes are kind of forward in relation to or they're further away in relation to the toes. So notice how that feels in the back of the leg. Letter B, lift the heart. Exhale, wrap the hands around the feet. Now we're going to let the toes line up. Toes from big toe to pinkies. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, bend the elbows to lower. Every exhalation, full release, whatever that means in this moment. Letter C, come up halfway. Your letter C is going to be the same as this posture unless you can get your hands behind the feet and you can hold the wrists, or you can hold the hands behind the feet. Check and see where you can be. Again, if it's too far, then come back as you were holding before, folding in. Now, either reverse table or Purvottanasana, reverse plank. So inhale, rise. If you're going into reverse plank, you keep the legs straight as you can, palms down, lift the hips, keeping the feet flat if you can. If that's too much, bend the knees, come to reverse table, and step the feet under the hips. Exhale, lower. Let's take a vinyasa. We're not going to take a vinyasa between every posture. So let's go ahead and arms and legs lift into boat, cross the ankles, lower them down, bring the trunk forward, palms forward, and then you can step or jump the feet back. Exhale, lower. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog, where we will come back to seated. Legs forward. Okay, so right side, right foot on top of left thigh, half lotus, right knee down. If that doesn't work, just like before, foot to thigh. Let's take the right hand behind and keep it behind the back. And if you could find that right foot, then find the bind, right hand to right foot. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Exhale, fold. So if the right hand behind the hip or behind the back doesn't feel good, you can bring both hands to the leg, remembering thigh, calf, or foot. It's a good place for the hand. Gazing past the left toes in a focusless gaze. One more breath. Inhale, rise. And I think what we're going to do for sake of speeding up a little bit, we're going to go right into the next posture instead of going left, right, left, or right, left, right, left. So go ahead and take right foot to the outside of the right hip, knees forward. Doesn't work, you'll do the same as you did before. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold into the left leg. Inhale, find length. Exhale, folding. Really does help to keep the toes lined up so they're nice and flat. It's working all the way into the hips, so we have the right rotation and we can benefit the most. Inhale, rise. Let's switch sides now. So right leg forward, left foot to the inside of the thigh or on top of the thigh for half lotus. We want to press the left knee down as much as we can, both postures. Take the left hand behind, maybe find the foot or keep hand behind the back. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, fold. Be willing to be firm with the body. So if it's a nice firm hold with the feet, with the leg, wherever you are, nice firm touch. Now we're going to take a vinyasa, so inhale, rise. You can choose to skip a vinyasa too, and then we will be skipping some together and doing some strengthening instead. If you are taking a break, focus on the breath. Okay, so legs forward, right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Now we're going into Janu Shirshasana, letter A. Inhale, reach the arms up. And if you were here before, it's good. The body's learning. Exhale, hands to the leg, behind thigh, calf, maybe the foot. Find length and then fold. Keep the low back long. Keep the shoulders down away from the ears. Pull the belly in. I think we'll do A, B, and then C on the right side. So inhale, rise. Exhale, sit right on top of the right foot. So we're right on the heel. And then we'll inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, length. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release the foot, but grab the foot with the hands and then begin to really flex the foot. Turn the foot in and press the toes down next to the thigh. The heel is hugging the thigh. The right knee is pressed down. Do your best. If it doesn't work, you can come back into the posture that does work. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands forward. Inhale, find length. Exhale, fold. And you'll find that every time you position the legs slightly differently than before, that you're stretching maybe the muscles right next to or right below or right above, just such a slight shift. And then we're covering the whole body more completely. Inhale, rise. Exhale, cross the ankles. We're just going to bump up. So bring the palms down next to the hips. Push into the palms. See if you can lift the hips and the feet, lifting the knees. And then exhale, lower. Left leg, right leg forward. Left foot to the inside of the thigh. Again, pull the flesh apart to help out with seated. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, find length. Exhale, fold in. See if you can keep the foot flexed and keep those toes in line with each other. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sit on top of the left heel. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, find length. Exhale, fold in. Victorious breath still flowing through. The breath for overcoming obstacles. Inhale, rise, release the foot, hold the foot with the hands, turn the toes down, flexing the foot, then press the toes down. Let the heel hug the thigh, press the left knee down. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, finding length. Exhale, folding in. And inhale, rise. Let's take a vinyasa. Arms and legs lift. And then making your way through. Okay, Marichyasana C. Marichyasana starting with A. We'll have the left foot forward, bring the right foot in as close to the sitting bone as you can. And then we'll go ahead and bring the hands to the inside of the arms to the inside of the right leg, holding the left leg. Now, if you can, you're going to start to walk down the leg and then take right hand, fish it back with the palm up. And maybe that's good, or maybe you can take left hand behind and find a bind. If you can find a bind, the goal is for the right fingers to be the ones grasping the left wrist. I can't get my left wrist quite there, so my fingers kind of clasp each other. Now another breath. Inhale, rise. Exhale, switch legs. Maybe inhale, arms up here, which is what we should do really. Exhale, fold. Maybe find the bind behind, fishing left hand back. Holding right hand if possible. And we'll inhale, rise. Okay, so we'll go into letter B. Left foot on top of right thigh. If that doesn't work, you're going to bring it under the thigh. Okay, then we'll be bringing the right foot back. If you have foot on top of thigh in that half lotus, you're going to probably scooch forward a little bit and lift your right sitting bone off the mat. Then we're going to twist into the right leg. Actually, we're folding here. So we're going to fold. So we'll bring the shoulder to the inside of the knee. And, you know, there's a few ways to be here. You can hold the legs, maybe holding the right knee with right hand, or if you can lower here, there is a bind. If you can fish the right hand behind and the left arm behind. Otherwise, you're just folding in. Maybe both feet down. Let's rise. Switch sides. Right foot on top of left thigh maybe, or under left thigh. Draw the left foot back. Fold here. Maybe the bind. I really enjoy this one because it gets into the hip. If you can kind of experience that. Notice it. Another breath. And then we'll rise and switch. So now we're going to go and we'll take a twist. So we'll have right foot drawn in and we're going to twist into the right leg. So find your variation. Maybe you want to hug the leg. Maybe you want to bring hand outside of the leg or arm outside of the leg. Twisting to the right. For every posture, there is an appropriate inhale, exhale, which is why it's called Ashtanga-Vinyasa. By the time we get to this point, I kind of leave that behind a little, but I really should come back. So let's inhale, rise. Exhale, right leg forward. Inhale, left foot back. I'll take a breath out. And then inhale, left arm up. Exhale, take it behind. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, find that place on the leg. Find length, turn to the left. There's a bind here. I find it far out of my reach. So I can't teach what's out of my reach. And then we'll inhale, come to center. Okay, let's come into a boat posture, arms and legs lift. We're going to skip letter D. Those were the Marichyasana postures. So arms and legs lift. We're finding boat, leaning back a little bit. We're going to cross the ankles, set them down, plant the palms. Inhale, bump up. Exhale, lower. Second set. Cross the ankles, lower. Plant the palms, inhale, bump up. Final one. And exhale. Well, let's take a vinyasa here. Okay. You know, I'm gonna go through this next one with you. It's an arm balance. We haven't done this, but we're going to come back to seated and then plant the feet and begin to come into a squat. So we're going to separate the feet far apart and then lower the hips down. Now, if this is a question mark for you, stay in this deep squat here. If you want to go further, you need to bring the feet a little closer, maybe get the hands to the outside of the feet, and then begin to heel toe the feet a little closer together, so that at some point you can start to balance on the hands. Now, someone who knows this really well will simply pick up the feet and cross them very easily, but I have to scooch them over. So if you can get there, you cross the ankles, and then you'd lift the ankles up, and then a person would take their head down, and I'm not there yet. And then we can unwind. So if you're in your squat, go ahead and come back to seated. Now we're going to take the legs out and then fold here. So maybe you want to fold just right in and release the arms, or maybe you want to take the hands underneath the legs. So you're really pushing the arms into the legs, and then you're straightening the legs as much as possible, so that if you can, your heels will be hovering. And maybe getting lower and lower as much as you can here. Just 2 more breaths. And inhale, rise. Okay, we're going to skip the next 3 postures. Bring the soles of the feet together. Open the feet like a book. Sit up nice and tall. Lower the chin. Baddha Konasana. This is letter A. Let's go into letter B by pressing the trunk down, pressing the elbows down into the thighs, lowering the head. And then inhale, rise. Grasp the big toes with the peace fingers if you can, or hold the outer feet with your hands. Separate the legs again and then fold. Make sure you have some clearance behind you. And we're going to see if we can pop the legs up. I always have to bend the knees to get there, holding the feet, and then seeing if you can balance, holding the feet, creating tension between the arms and the legs. That's just absolutely necessary to be here. A flimsy body won't balance properly. Now we're going to fall back. So you can bring the feet a little closer together if you'd like, and then roll onto the spine, taking the legs back. Does work quite well with the legs apart too, which is harder at first, I think. And then we'll start to lower the trunk down and bring the left leg down. Hold the right big toe with the peace fingers. Press the left palm onto left thigh. Lift the head. Draw the leg in. the head comes down, take the leg out to the right, turn the head to the left. Bring the leg back to center. Bring both hands to the leg to pull the leg in. We're going to switch sides, but take your left leg up first. Just notice the difference between right and left leg. Then go ahead and grasp left big toe with peace fingers. Right arm comes down. Press right palm down on top of right thigh. Here we're lifting the head. Okay, lower the head. Take the leg. Oh, one more breath. And then we'll take the leg out to the left, turn the head to the right. Bring the leg back to center. Both hands to the leg to draw it in. Okay, right from here, take the other leg up again and notice both the legs are even. Now we're going to rock up. See if you can keep the big toes grasped. Rock back and forth till you can rock up, and keeping this bind, pushing the toes into the fingers, rising into what looks like a boat posture. It has a different name though. I don't know it offhand. Then we're going to start to see if we can hold the feet and then draw the legs and the trunk closer and closer together. Exhale, release the feet down. Bring the heels together, lower the trunk down, rest of the feet are apart. Then push into the elbows, lift the back and the head, bring the crown of the head to the mat. This is a variation of bridge posture. Another breath. And then we'll be exhaling, lowering down. Okay, so let's see. Let's go into 2 bow postures. So either you're going to be keeping the shoulders down, we're going to be planting the feet. Either you keep shoulders down and lift the hips into what we usually call bridge, or you're going to come into a bow. Both of them are called bow in the Ashtanga practice. They're just variations. So if you're coming into bow, it's a deep back bend with palms down. Doing your best. Exhale, lower. We see progress every time we come into these, as long as we're coming into them. So when you're ready, second set. Lowering down. It's a difficult one for me. Scoliosis does not help these things. Now we're going to rise, working against these forces, and then find a fold. So we only did 2 today versus 3. Oh, a couple more breaths. Hopefully we see that we've changed since we were here before. We're going to come into a shoulder stand. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Now, if you find shoulder stand is very uncomfortable, I think next week I'll show you how to do it with a blanket under the upper back. So we're going to take the legs up. Now, if you want to skip shoulder stand, you can stay right here in candlestick. If you'd like to go to shoulder, you'll take the hands behind the sacrum, lift the hips, kind of start in a half blank, and then we're going to take the legs up. I know what posture it is. I'm going to take the legs straight up, one at a time maybe, or both at the same time. Oh, Hastasana was the other posture. So you can stay in candlestick if you're there, or you can take the legs back and maybe plant those toes if possible. If they're not going to do that, you can keep them hovering. Keep hands to sacrum. If toes come down, you can bring arms down. Now, if not counteracted, this pressure on the neck can be a little much. So it's important to counteract these things. Now we're going to bring the knees around for ear pressure posture. Knees around the temples or the ears if you can get them. You can take the hands to the sacrum and push into it to help. Let's start to come out of this by coming back into your candlestick. Now, you can stay in candlestick, but if you can do a lotus posture, you're going to bring foot on top of thigh, foot on top of thigh, and this might be good, or you might lift the hips, hands to the sacrum, and then be right here. The fuller expression is hands to knees while you're here. It's a little intense. And then we'll start to lower. Okay, we're going to, if you had your legs in that lotus, you're going to release the legs like this, keeping them binded. If not, you can bring soles of the feet together and recline for a moment, or fold the ankles. And maybe if you're in the bound, you're in the lotus, you can have hands to feet. And then we're going to release the legs. We're almost going to rest here. So once we've released the legs, arms alongside the body, press into the elbows, lift the back and the head, bring the crown of the head to the mat. See, this is counteracting the pressure we had on the neck. Nice deep bend. If you feel stable, only if you feel stable, you can lift the arms or the legs or both by taking the arms forward and lifting the legs. Exhale, release. We're going to rise up to seated. We almost went through almost everything today, just missing a few. Once we rise, you can cross the ankles or you can come into lotus posture. Now, if you can find lotus, maybe hands wrap around the back to find the feet, where we're going to fold. And the idea is we're kind of mirroring the develop of the lotus, which is a symbol for spiritual development, spiritual growth, and evolution. So first we're small like a bud. So if you have ankles crossed, you're also folding. Just folding over the crossed legs, all closed up. Then we start to rise and we bring the hands to the knees. And now we're starting to open this lotus flower. You can keep the chin down. Take 3 strong breaths with a lot of force. Now maybe we're going to hover and Find the fully developed lotus. Bring the hands down next to the hips. Even if the ankles are crossed and you're not in the lotus, you just do what we did before by bumping up, palms down, and then inhale, lift as much as you can. Exhale, lower, unwind the ankles, come down to lying down, where we're going to find our twist and then relaxing and resting. So knees to chest, arms to knees. Take the knees and the head to the right, but keeping the left arm planted, and then turn the head to the left. Inhale, knees to center. You can plant feet, lift hips, lower. Knees back in, head and knees to the left. Keep the right arm down. Turn the head to the right. And bring the knees back to center. One final squeeze. And now release. Feet away from each other. Arms away from the trunk. On the inhale, we'll be tensing everything up, creating fists, closing the eyes tight, scrunching the toes, engaging all the muscles in the arms, the legs, the glutes, the face. Exhale, release. Relax everything. Now as we're resting, we're going to let the mind shift from the limbs inward. So we're going to move the mind away from the limbs, releasing them completely. And then taking your awareness as far inwardly as you possibly can. Going more and more internally. Resting completely. So still finding your awareness as deeply as you can. That practice of moving away from the senses and the limbs, the sense of taste, of touch, of smell, is a practice of pratyahara, sense withdrawal. So now we're going to start to kind of fill the body back up with the awareness as you come back to the body. We're now kind of pressing that awareness out to fill the limbs again, to fill the head and the brain, nose, the tongue, the fingertips, the feet. Deepening the breath and filling the body with the awareness. And now even touching the hands and the fingers and feeling that touch. Maybe it even feels newer now. And moving the toes. Maybe everything can feel more vivid, more vibrant. And then starting to maybe stretch the arms back and bring the feet together. You can move the wrist around or the ankles, knees in, arms around the knees. You can roll to the side, take a breath, and then rise up. And went a little longer today as we were able to fit in a few other postures. And once we're in seated, we'll bring our palms together and seal our practice. In doing so, we want to have an intention in that. So let's think of others and really put our heart and mind into wishing for the alleviation of suffering and the discovery of joy for all beings. So we'll seal that with Om, breathing in. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I honor the light in you that is the same light in me. Namaste.